Good morning, Steve Thompson at Thompson Family Motors, Senecaville, Ohio. Today I've got something very special. Of course, all of our cars are special, and there's Miss Kitty. Got to get in the, she's kind of a ham. 1973 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. 17,000 original miles on it. And that is absolute. I actually have known this car. This was owned by our neighbor. And I remember the day he brought it home. I was quite a bit younger. And I absolutely fell in love with this car. Of course, I've always been a car nut. But this thing is absolutely beautiful. He had passed away several years ago, and they had an estate auction. He was a car collector, and he liked everything nice and kept everything nice. And I've had several of these Marks, and they were all really super nice cars. This one here is extra special. I've got a lot of pictures on our website of the underbelly in excellent shape. Everything works perfectly on this except for the fuel gauge, and we are right now in the process of getting that fixed. Just ordered a new sending unit for it. Of course, it's got the 464 barrel. I'm trying to go extra slow so you can see everything. I call this a root beer brown. I can't remember what Ford calls it, but the chrome is just absolutely impeccable on it. The headlights, as Lincoln guys know, the diaphragms that pull the headlights down usually, and this has the original ones in it, the headlight doors will stay closed for probably 4 to 5 hours. Now that's in 70-degree temperatures. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open the door here, and I want everybody to take notice on these old cars. One of the first things to go and get brittle is all the seals are very pliable. This thing was stored extremely well. The interior, there are no rips, tears. The headliner is absolutely perfect in it, and none of this has been redone. He did have installed the state-of-the-art, back in the day, the CB radio telephone, which I just thought that was the neatest thing in the world. And along with that, which is a shame in one way, but he had this probably very expensive power antenna, CB antenna. When you turn it on, that antenna will come up. But the roof, there's no bubbles like you normally see. It's in extremely nice shape. We just had this in our car show. Randy drove it, hauled the mayor around in it. And when I said everything works perfectly, the AC is still the old R12. The compressor is functioning. I'm going to go ahead and start it up here. It just runs perfect. And like all of them, when they sit for a while, the clock's getting better. After you start it a couple times, it'll run. But you turn on the AC, the compressor, it will run. And that fan blower motor, just so everybody knows, it's getting better because it's quieting down now. I've actually got that blower running. I'm gonna shut that off now. Close the door here. AM/FM stereo. Works perfect. The dash is absolutely as it was when it left the factory. Everybody knows to look up under the sun visors to make sure there's absolutely been no sign of any rodents in this car under the hood or in the car. Very well kept, maintained. The power antenna works perfect. And I don't know how many of them I've had that it didn't. This car really is special, even the seats. And nothing like, it's got the rim blow horn. Sounds like a locomotive coming down the road. Love it. Of course, I love the locomotives too. Pop the trunk here quick. But I actually know everybody that had this car. And here in a few minutes, Randy's gonna take us for a drive. Well, the carpet's still there, and this is like extra special. There is a spare tire, and there is an extra key. It's even got a lock on the spare tire for car shows and whatnot. I don't know who'd steal a spare tire at a car show, but this day and age, you just never know. But yeah, all the seals are perfect. Tail lights, no cracking in any of the lights. And it is running. I don't know if you can hear that on the video. But we're going to go for a ride now. You ready, Randy?
Yep, ready to go.
I guess I could get my juice bottle out of there. Oh. And these seats really are super extra comfortable. Both of them are power, and they both absolutely work perfectly. Power windows work really good. The driver's window was starting to hesitate going up. The motor was running fine. I did not want to put in a replacement Chinese motor, if you will. So I actually just got new dowels and put in the original motor. And everybody is going to notice the low fuel lights on, and that's going to be on until I get this fuel gauge fixed. But she's just smooth as silk. Just operates absolutely perfect. Nice smooth stops. The back brakes were just redone. Front brakes were in excellent shape. Accelerates right. And this does still have the original Motorcraft carburetor on it. And I believe in keeping everything original. But you really want to get some performance. And most guys that are looking at this video interested in this car are going to know if you take that carburetor off there and put one of the other performance carburetors on, it's amazing how much better the performance is. But it runs absolutely perfect, idles perfect. And as you can tell, she hangs right in there. There's no slop in the steering, and there shouldn't be at 17,000 miles. It's got new white wall tires, which are becoming a pain in the butt to get a hold of. And as they say, I wouldn't be scared to get in this car and drive it to Nevada and back. It runs that good, and it's been that well taken care of. There's no chips in the windshield. I do know that the windshield wiper park mechanism was rebuilt a while back. And that was a common problem with these things. all-day weekend. We're just going to go down to the next little town of Buffalo, because we are out in the country. But all the imitation wood grain from back in the day, the door straps, driver's door strap, has just one little crack in it, which Randy just put his arm in the way.
Yep, not going to find too many like this in this shape.
No, like I say, we've had several of them that were absolutely fantastic, wonderful cars, but this by far is the best one we have ever got our hands on. I can't believe it came full circle from my next door neighbor when I was a kid to another collector after Mr. James died, and they sold his estate out, and another collector got it and never really did anything with it, and we just ended up getting it last week, and it's just awesome. I really hate to sell it, but like with everything, I can't fall in love with any of them. We love our business too much, and we need to reinvest and go out and find more of these cars. Ain't that right, Randy?
Oh yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, I sold my Marauder, and nobody believed I'd ever do that.
No, I wouldn't.
But right down to the outside mirrors, which I should have shown when I was doing the walk around. They've even got the little Lincoln emblem engraved in them, which is just cool as can be. And I'm going to note too, I forgot it, this thing does have the 8-track, and I tried it out. It does work good. Tried the stereo. There is a hole that they had put in there to turn this CB on and off. So in the plastic dash panel there is a hole. I want everybody to know that. Any blemishes or anything like that, we don't want anybody having any surprises that they don't want to have. We believe in, as we say, showing the good, bad, and the ugly. As far as the R12, I'm not going to switch this thing over to 134. I believe that'll be the next caretaker of this vehicle. That's their decision. But the compressor does run. It's quiet. I'm sure after all these years it would bleed off. It's starting to warm up a little bit today, isn't it, Randy? Be nice if it had just a little more R12 in it right now. That's all right. Just sits there and just idles as smooth as can be.
Definitely runs good.
I'm not sure whether that spoon was you, Randy. I mean, you're one for throwing gravel. Remember the Studebaker?
I don't think that was me.
I deny it. And no, we're not in Mexico. We're in good old southeastern Ohio. And another thing, in a lot of my videos, like the 78 Town Car, normally the power door locks don't work. This one here, believe it or not, the power door locks work perfectly. That was another shocker. Did not expect that, see that coming. And as you can see, it cruises right along, well within our speed limit here in this part of the country.
Maybe just a little bit.
Maybe just a tad. But Randy does want everybody to see how nice it drives. you heard that from Mr. OCD himself. Because if there was an issue, he's worse than me about remembering and saying that's got a little shake in it, or
Yep.
he's really good about making sure we're aware of if there's any issues with a car.
No shake, no shimmy. It runs and rides like it's supposed to in 1973.
It really is a time capsule, isn't it, Randy?
Oh, my.
It's just like these seats. I don't believe I remember sitting in seats of that.
Yep,
Still
very comfortable. Just floats down the road.
I think when you were hauling the mayor the other day in the parade, she described the seats as being very subtle.
Subtle. Very subtle.
Yeah, I don't know. Some fancy Columbus word, I don't know. But anyway, she meant they was real nice. Now this video is gonna go a little longer than what I normally do, but the car is definitely worth it, worth our time, and it's definitely worth your time to watch the video if you're interested in an automobile like this. And when I say like this particular automobile, you will not go wrong. If the battery holds out here on the camera, as soon as we pull in, going to pop the hood with the engine running, and it's fantastic.
Not too many more of these left out there.
No, that's
in this shape.
Yeah, this thing really is awesome. She will get right down the road. And every little light bulb, instrumentation, everything works absolutely perfect. Didn't have to replace one bulb in it, nothing.
Right down to the low fuel light.
Yeah, right down to the low fuel light. Yeah, that's true. And I will tell you, there is no signs or smells of cigarette, but I will guarantee you that this car has been smoked in. That lighter has been used a few times. And that was probably back in the 70s, because I believe everybody smoked cigarettes. Well, we're losing our battery, so we will do a real quick second video of it running. I'll change out these batteries. We're back to Thompson Family Motors right here on State Route 313 in Senecaville, Ohio. Swap in batteries and we'll do another quick video. Well, Steve Thompson of Thompson Family Motors here, Senecaville, Ohio. Yesterday we did a driving video, Randy and I did, of this 73 Lincoln Continental Mark IV, and I had even mentioned that the AC did not work and probably needed recharge, but I did not want to swap it over to the new stuff. Well, fortunately this morning I took it to some friends of mine, Chumney Farms over there, and they had an OR12 gauge set, and Richard really is good at that, and he checked it, and lo and behold, the system was full. It was actually operating properly and trying to cool, but this heater valve was stuck, would not close just from setting. And so now we've got nice cold air coming out from under it. And I'd like to point out it, several years ago, they put a new 4-core radiator in it and hoses. And I say this thing's road ready, it's road ready. Got a recent master cylinder on it. It's had no touch up on the paint. Got the Motorcraft wires on there. I cannot tell you whether they're original or not, but I believe by looking at the boots and everything, if they're not original, they're probably 30 years old. I'm going to say they're original. But anyhow, I really love to make this update because I'm so thrilled that that AC, that old R12, is still in the system and holding up just like the rest of the car. Wonderful. And when I said yesterday, and I say in all my videos, we don't want any disappointments, it's very hard to see, but there is, because of the reflection and everything, there is a little dimple right there. Now my dent guy said he could take that right out, but the paint is cracked on it. So when I said there was no flaws, I don't know how we missed that yesterday in the video, but I did go completely over the whole car yesterday, and that is the only thing. Anyway, it's getting cooking hot out here. The car is nice and cool inside, but of course video you can't tell that. But super happy about the AC is working properly. Still got to get the fuel gauge fixed. It should be here tomorrow, next day, and I'll make an update on that. Steve Thompson, Thompson Family Motors, Senecaville, Ohio. Our direct number is 740-685-0322. Thank you much.